Mic check, 1, 2. Mic check, 1, 2. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another daily live stream. I also forgot to mute my mic at the beginning while this intro was playing. So sorry if I was coughing or clicking away on my keyboard. I was trying to get my notes up here. It is another day of imperfect consistency. It is another day of working on my journey, not just my fasting journey, but my health and wellness journey, taking care of myself, figuring out how to keep myself motivated, how to keep myself from continuing to make good choices, good, healthy choices, and also breaking bad ones at the same time. Today is Friday, August 22nd, 2025. Today is day 656 of my journey. Can't believe we're almost at the end of August. I can't believe I'm almost out of this apartment as well. If you're new and you see this patched wall here and no furniture behind me, I literally have an empty apartment. I'm in the middle of getting everything sold. I am moving out of this apartment. I'm also moving out of this country eventually, a little later in the year. But I have 8 million things going on. And even though I have all of those things going on and I feel a little overwhelmed and things are a little nerve-wracking, there's a part of me that, or a big part of me that reminds myself that my health and my wellness should still be the number one priority, regardless of feeling completely overwhelmed, regardless of everything that's happening in my life. My health and wellness still top priority. Without it, you don't really have anything. Without your health, without prioritizing that, it makes everything else, it's just not, I know the headspace that we get in, but Jerome, my kids, my work, right? When in reality, the thing that matters most is your health first, because if that goes, then what do the other things matter at that point? If you are fighting for your life or you're incapacitated because your health took something away from you, how are you going to prioritize things like your family, your loved ones, your job, whatever else you might prioritize? Just think about that as we talk about this on a daily basis, why I'm here every single day to share my accountability. I just want you to understand the importance of caring for yourself first so that you have the opportunity to care for your loved ones, your job, your whatever priority even better. Before I continue on here, Babita, Aisha, Isa, a lot of A's at the end there. Maggie, May, One Golden Breeze. Who am I missing? Claire, Randall, Lynn. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Patty. A lot of regulars on here. LX, what's going on? Angie's here too. Angie, it's so nice to see you. Tire Chick is here as well. Welcome. Nice to see you all. Appreciate you coming by. So, did I see a question or two already? Maybe I did. Let me just scroll up here. I see Aisha's 26 days fasted. Incredible. And here's the thing too, right? Aisha, as incredible as it is to go 26 days fasted, Aisha's currently holding at 200 pounds for the 5th day in a row. But Aisha's gone through this and knows that regardless of what the scale says, the goal is still there. It's not an opportunity to be like, well, it isn't worth it. What's the point, right? I mean, let's be honest here. 26 days of fasting is amazing. That's an amazing feat. Congratulations, Aisha. Keep doing your thing. Proud of you. I'm sure. I mean, I see it in the comments. I see it in chat. Everyone is just amazed at that. So keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. And Claire says this too. And you know what? This is really interesting because Claire was talking here was it yesterday? Was it 2 days ago? I'm already forgetting. But Claire says, hello, I decided to walk instead of running. Claire, a couple of days ago, talked about maybe putting a plan out and incorporating running. And I had also suggested, hey, running is great, but maybe if that's not up to your speed right now, maybe it's jogging, maybe it's walking. But Claire says here, hello, I decided to walk instead of run. I tend to be hard on myself, but I want to move forward. Even if it's not perfect, at least be regular every day. And this is what I talk about when I talk about imperfect consistency. You can set big goals for yourself. You want to fast for a long time? Sure. You want to eat the cleanest for a long time? Sure. You want to exercise hard for a long time? Sure. All of those things, practicing good, healthy habits, wonderful thing. But it doesn't mean that you have to give 110% every single day. The sooner that you can accept that you are going to have moments of imperfection, that you are going to be going out with friends or family or both, or you have an event to go to, or you get invited to a social outing at the last second, or something unexpected happens in your life that kind of completely flips your life upside down. I'm starting to quote Fresh Prince theme song lyrics. Regardless of what happens, you might get thrown off, but that shouldn't stop your journey. That shouldn't be like, well, now it's time to start over. Well, you know what? It's already Friday. The weekend's here. I might as well not show up at all. And I'll just join Jerome Sunday night and he'll motivate me to start again on Monday. When in reality, you've now just completely wasted the entire weekend when that could have been an opportunity for you to learn from the things that you do, to work on the other things when it comes to weight loss that can help you succeed on building good, healthy habits. Just like Aisha was talking about holding steady at 200 pounds for multiple days in a row, right? And instead of letting the scale affect her, I mean, it was in the title of my video. You can't control what the scale is going to say. I mean, technically, you can in some respects, because you know when you're not putting calories in. But even in the case of Aisha, who has been holding steady, multiple days fasted, the real important thing is, while you can't control that number or what it says, the thing you can control is practicing good, healthy habits. And that's what this is all about. And showing accountability and showing transparency is the way to get there. That's why you see me doing this every single day at this point, showing my transparency, showing that I have a lot of good days and I have some other days where I don't eat the best. And you're going to see that today. Actually, I think Randall said that here. Blessed day, Jerome. Looking forward to seeing how that 20% day was. I know I'm adding words in there for you, but I know that's what you meant. Yesterday, I had my quote unquote 20% day where I ate whatever I wanted. And I enjoyed myself because I was out with friends and I got to be with people that I care about. I got to enjoy food that I haven't eaten in a minute. And there's no guilt, there's no regret. And instead, I'm here and being honest about it. And you're going to see it all on video because I recorded it. I recorded it for transparency's sake. So I'm not hiding. I'm not pretending I didn't eat this. There's no food blindness. And when I talk about food blindness, sometimes, or food, I don't know what you want to call it, but sometimes what ends up happening is we eat so much food when we're in the all or nothing mentality. When we're in well, today is my eating day, so I'm going to eat whatever I want. Sometimes what ends up happening is there's no awareness at all, that you completely forget about what you're even eating. And if you're somebody like me who eats a good amount of food or just tends to overeat, right? When it gets to that point, there are some people who completely forget about everything that they've put down. So sometimes it's important to have accountability in that way. Maggie May says, having a hard time getting my steps in today. Twisted my foot this morning. I'm sorry to hear that. Any suggestions? And I wonder if anyone else shared this in chat, but for you, hopefully your foot gets better, but at the same time, are there other things that you can do that maybe don't aggravate your foot as much? I know at some gyms, they have gyms, and I'm not saying you have to go to the gym, but if you do have a gym membership, right? They do have things where, I don't know what you call them. They're like pedals for your arms, right? I've seen people do that. Or you can also work on doing body weight exercises. Remember, a lot of this too is about building muscle. The more muscle that you can put on you, the better your metabolic rate, the more calories you burn at rest doing absolutely nothing. There are a ton of videos on YouTube when it comes to body weight exercises that probably won't involve you using your foot as much. Doing core exercises, I've been doing those lately, even doing things like planks or just a lot of different stretching. I do these things for my posture and like my shoulders, where I do those snow angels on the wall, where you stand on the wall and then you kind of, you know what I mean? There are a lot of things. So I'm sure you can do something there. And at the same time, whatever it is you're doing is activity. That is a way to get you moving, get you to burn calories, get you to remember that it isn't about just exercising for a specific time in the day for 30 minutes or an hour, and then the rest of the day you're doing absolutely nothing. What it means is, hey, maybe get a couple sets in there, see how it feels, take a break, and then when you feel energetic again, get some more in there. You'll have to keep us posted. Hi, Angie. Angie, I'm looking at your comment here. Yes, Angie, we'll talk again on Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for sharing with us. I like that accountability when you put it up in that way. Inut, Yago, Tommy, nice to see you all. Appreciate you being here. Okay, so one of the reasons I do these daily live streams is because the accountability is really important to me. I've talked about it over and over and over, but about a month ago, I gained about 30 pounds in 5 weeks. And since then, I have been pushing the weight down. I have been, after putting that weight on, after mindlessly eating, after going crazy and not being accountable and not tracking and just eating completely unhealthy, I got myself back into a fasting routine. And since then, my fasting protocol, I've been doing a lot of ADFs. When I gained 30 pounds, I went right into ADF. I didn't tell myself, okay, Jerome, time to do a 30-day fast. I didn't put myself in this all or nothing mindset. And this isn't, just really quick, this isn't, right, I'm not poking at Aisha here because Aisha is doing something great for herself on her journey. Everyone's journey is different, but I know how I get, and I know how the all or nothing thinking gets for me as well. So for me, I said, Jerome, you know you can do ADF. You get to eat every other day. You get to lift weights every other day. And so that's the protocol that I took for myself. And after doing 9 rounds of ADF, eating 2,700 calories per refeed, I lost 21 pounds in 18 days, right? So getting into 170 pounds after 9 rounds of ADF, I lost 21 of those 30 pounds already. And then I had a quote unquote 20% day where I ate whatever I wanted. I didn't think, or I didn't act as strict when it came to the calories I was counting. Instead, I was a lot more loose because I was with friends and family at that time. And on that 20% day, as I roughly tracked my calories, I ate 7,500 calories. I gained 7 pounds. And then I performed a 93-hour fast to counteract that 20% day and ended up losing over 9.5 pounds, losing more weight than when I ate all that food 93 hours prior. I was trying to counteract and still put myself at a big deficit. And that ended up making me lose almost 24 pounds in 3 weeks. And since then, I didn't do another 90-hour fast. I went right back into ADF. I have now completed 4 rounds of ADF. And you'll see underneath there, yesterday was my 20% day. I didn't mean to share the calories here right away. I usually like to share that later, but that's okay. Overall, I have now completed 13 rounds of ADF. I have done a 90+ hour fast. My average fast over the last, actually, I don't know if I updated this number correctly, but it's still pretty much on point there. I have been fasting over the last 30 days now for about 47, 48 hours, about a 2-day fast. I put 1 prolonged fast in there. I have now had 2 20% days, quote unquote, where I ate whatever I wanted. And I'm about to share that with you right now. So let's take a look. Let's see what I ate yesterday. On my 20% day, like I said, there are no real restraints. I'm not keeping my calories under 3,000. I'm eating what I want because yesterday I was out with friends and I wanted to enjoy. And in the last 30 days, I have been pretty regimented. I have been pretty strict. I have been eating relatively clean for the last 28 of those 30 days. Yesterday was another 20% day. So let's see that. There we go. Started off with maybe this. No, we'll do this. We'll keep it here. I was pretty much at a sports bar. This is one of my favorite pizza places. My friends wanted to get mozzarella sticks and they were completely greedy about it. When it came, there was only one left for me, which is fine. I was like, you know what? I'll take it because then I won't go completely crazy on mozzarella sticks. So I had that. We also ordered breaded mushrooms. And I did eat this with a little ranch. I don't know if I cut yeah, there's me eating it with ranch. I also forgot to bring my tripod. So we can show the pizza there in a second. So I think I was just resting it on a glass of water. Here's the thing too. So even though I'm eating whatever I want and I am not restricting. Last night, when I ate, I made a conscious effort to be like, no, I think I'll be okay without a beer. And what ended up happening is it prompted all my friends to not get beer either. And we all just ended up drinking pop. I mean, I had just a diet, and then my other friends had Cokes and Sprites. My friends are relatively skinny. They've been skinny their whole lives. They just drink regular pop. I guess I can't, and not that I want to anyway. For me, I actually prefer diet at this point over a regular pop. But that was a conscious effort, is what I'm trying to say. I didn't have a beer, and it's not that I couldn't. It was just to be like, hey, let me see if I can maybe make a better decision here. And I asked myself, I'm like, do I really need it? And sure, it would have been great, but I was also happy being with friends, eating pizza, eating fried whatever, right? And just having a good time. Sydney says, I've never had mozzarella sticks, but damn, they look good. They're pretty good. These were pretty generic. There was nothing special about them. I usually come to this place for the pizza, which is probably my favorite currently. Yeah, smell. Diet Pop isn't any healthier. We can go through this. I mean, if you want to, pick at straws here, for me, I'd rather not have the extra calories. So if you don't want pop, you don't have to have pop, right? I'm just sharing with you all what I ate on my 20% day. So after mozzarella sticks, after breaded mushrooms, I had pizza. This is thin pizza. This is how we really eat it in Chicago. I know a lot of people think we eat deep dish all day, every day, and we do not. This is not the best angle, but this is the only way I could set up my camera. This was sausage and green pepper, and we also got pepperoni, and you can see how thin that is. And I think half cheese, because I had a friend that didn't want to eat anything but cheese because I think he might be a little picky, but it's okay. The cheese was all right. The sausage and green peppers were great. And that was pretty much it. So we just hung out at the sports bar for a little bit. I haven't seen them in I think 3 months. And I had a good time. It was nice to go out and not be so restrictive in that way. And you'll notice here too, because people have asked me this, when it comes to what I eat or when I eat out, lately, the only time I really will go eat out is if I'm eating out with other people. The one thing that I haven't done in a while now is eat by myself or eat out by myself. Like, I'm not ordering takeout, I'm not ordering delivery and eating it by myself at home. At this point, I like to prepare my food. And when I do prepare food, I usually try to prepare cleaner food when it's obviously not on my 20% day. But for me, it's a good tactic. It reminds me that it isn't just about the food. When I had pizza and the mushrooms and the mozzarella sticks, right? I was reminding myself that I'm also out with friends. I'm out with people that I haven't seen in a minute, and I'm there to be with them and hang out with them because it's nice to just hang out and relax a little bit and not worry about eating the cleanest every single day. But here we are. And after the pizza, and I'll say I probably ate about somewhere between a third and close to a half of a large 18-inch pizza. I ate a good amount. And I had to hold back. I actually had to hold myself back from eating more. Also because I don't want to be greedy and not have my other three friends that were with me not have enough pizza. But at one point, they were all full and they were like, Jerome, finish it, because they know I typically would. But I really tried to hold back at that point. So what did I do when I got back? I made Brussels sprouts. And you'll see here, I used to, right? And you can see it in that clip. If you know me from the past, you have seen me eat Brussels sprouts and Italian sausage. One of my favorite combinations, right? It's a really good combination of, I don't know how to describe it, right? Just like really fatty sausage and vegetables that have been roasted, right? Like just a really good combination. And what I ended up doing is, this was another conscious effort. When I went to the store, I bought Brussels sprouts and I'm like, I haven't had Italian sausage in a while. And today's my 20% day and I get to eat pretty much whatever I want. And one of the reasons I've been holding back on eating Italian sausage with Brussels sprouts is because it's so calorie heavy. It's so high in fat that the calories just shoot up. That one sausage ends up being 280 calories. So I bought turkey Italian sausage, which I have never done before. And again, this is a conscious effort. I didn't have to. I could have if I wanted to. But I really wanted to be like, okay, if I eat another 7,500 calories, I might have to push a much longer fast again. And it's not that I can't do a 90, but I would rather not, especially if I'm still working on getting at a caloric deficit to get myself down to around 130 pounds, to lose the rest of the excess fat that I have on me. This is me trying to play a balancing act here. So I got this turkey Italian sausage. It was okay. I don't know. Have any of you ever tried it? It kind of tastes like Italian sausage, but you know it isn't. It was ground up turkey, but it wasn't bad. And now after trying it, I was like, I could start adding this to my regular rotation of food. And I could eat this with my Brussels sprouts and it will still keep the calories low on my ADF days when I'm trying not to eat more than 3,000 calories in a sitting. Because I love Italian sausage. And I feel like, and I see Sydney saying it here, it really felt like a good substitution. And I know it might sound crazy, but yesterday doing that was a learning experience. It was like, hey, you've never done this before. Why don't you try it out? See if you like it. If you don't, then it's fine. You never have to do it again. But doing that gave me an opportunity. It opened up a different avenue to be like, hey, here's another option that I can add into my rotation of my meals. You all see what I have on my refeeds. It's usually salmon or shrimp or chicken thighs or ground turkey or lean ground beef with spaghetti sauce. Those are usually my go-tos, and I eat all of that with rice. And the Brussels sprouts and the Italian sausage, the turkey Italian sausage, I see carnivorous teacher. Turkey anything is a thumbs down for me. I get it. I totally get it. Patty says it too. It definitely isn't good sausage. I didn't mind it. I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay. The calories on this were so different, right? I'll just share. So a regular Italian sausage that I eat is 280 calories, right? 280 calories might not be a bad thing if you eat one of them. I typically eat 4. So if I ate 4 of that, I would have been over 1,000 calories. I ate 4 of these turkey Italian sausages and they were 160 calories each. So 4 of those were 640 versus like around 1,100. I get it. I understand. And I know it's not for everyone. For me, I was like, oh, this could be another option. So I'm glad I asked. I do like I like sharing recipes or learning about what people like or what might be better than that. I know Sydney talked about chicken sausages do they make a chicken Italian sausage? I don't know if that would be good though. I mean, the turkey one wasn't bad, everyone. It wasn't that bad. Anyway, so Brussels sprouts, Italian sausage. This was over a pound of Brussels sprouts. My favorite thing to eat. I did add balsamic vinegar. It's something I've been eating a lot with lately. I don't drench it on at that point, but it was good. And then I had a good bowl of corn here. And because I was a little more lax, I added just a little bit of butter and I added salt and garlic or garlic powder. It was so good. I don't know if any of you love corn here, but corn is one of my favorite things to eat. I can absolutely overdo it with corn. So a little bit of butter, salt, and garlic powder. It was so good. It was so good. So my mouth is watering, like I usually say. Anyway, I ate all of that up. Very tasty. I'm just waiting for the next clip here. I can't even remember what I ate after this. This is a long clip of me eating corn. Okay. 2 bananas, pretty ripe ones here. And again, right? Like my 20% day means I could have eaten whatever I wanted. I didn't have to eat Brussels sprouts. I didn't have to eat bananas, but this is the truth. I love eating these things. One of the reasons that this is so sustainable for me and this is so consistent for me is because I enjoy the things that I eat. When you see me eating broccoli or spinach or cherry tomatoes or Brussels sprouts, it's not like I'm forcing that food in. I eat it because I genuinely enjoy it. You have to find that for yourself as well. How can you do anything in the long run if you hate the food that you eat? And in a way, this is why I tried that Italian turkey sausage, because I was like, might as well see if it's good at all. And it wasn't bad. So you'll probably be seeing it in future refeeds. So anyway, just thought I'd put that out there. It's really important to enjoy the foods that you eat. So 2 bananas, still my favorite fruit outside of pineapples. And this is different. I guess you haven't seen me eat this, but it's still a very similar rendition of what I normally eat. Right there. This is probably one of the most chocolatey things I have eaten. You probably have noticed this. I don't eat a lot of chocolate. Some people think I'm a little crazy that I don't particularly like chocolate, but I'm not the biggest fan. But I wanted something different, and this was sugar-free chocolate pudding, or like a fudge chocolate Jello pudding mix with milk, I put chocolate fudge protein powder, and then I added Biscoff cookies for crunch. So a little variation of what I am normally eating when it's the vanilla one with pumpkin and pumpkin spice, because it's like, I love pumpkin pie. This is really good. Actually, it was so rich. Well, I still ate it all. I was going to be like, and I couldn't finish it, but I did. I think I ate 95% of it, most of it, but it was very rich. It was good. If you are a fan of chocolate, I would maybe take a look at that chocolate pudding, sugar-free one that Jello makes. And it's only like 120 calories if you eat the entire package. And you know that I eat the entire package. So there's one more thing I ate after that. There was no pumpkin pie when I went to the store yesterday. And this ended up just being carrot cake. I haven't had carrot cake in a while. The only reason I got carrot cake is because I was watching a eating video. If any of you watch Eric the Electric was eating carrot cake, and he talked about how he absolutely hated carrot cake, and I really like it. So that is what I ended my 20% day with. this carrot cake said it was like, because when you buy these at the grocery store, it actually puts the calorie count on some of these desserts or single serve desserts. That was 620 calories. So that was how I ended my 20% day. It was a lot less caloric than my last 20% day. And I don't have my numbers on. Oh, I do. So, and you saw it when I showed that slide, but all that food yesterday, the pizza, the mozzarella stick, just the one that I had, the breaded mushrooms, the Brussels sprouts and turkey Italian sausage, the corn, the bananas, the pudding, the carrot cake, all of that was 4,750 calories and 190 grams of protein. Now, that number isn't completely accurate. That's a very rough number. I still count calories when I go out with friends and eat, because for me, it keeps me accountable. It really gives me an idea of how many calories I'm putting down. And it helps me realize, okay, now that I've eaten that much, how long should I be fasting for? How can I offset this in the quickest way possible? Obviously, I don't have to fast for a long time, even if I eat that much. Why? Because I'm currently doing ADF and I'm currently putting myself at a caloric deficit. I'm at such a huge caloric deficit, over a 20,000 caloric deficit over the last 30 days, that eating a couple thousand extra calories isn't going to put all the weight back on. But what I want to do is continue to lose the weight and continue to lose the weight at a quicker pace. And to be able to do so, that requires me to push up my fasting lever, which is what I'm going to do. So the thing is, what my next move was I was going to now fast for another 90 hours, but I haven't figured out the rhythm of this yet, because this Wednesday, which is 5 days from now, I have another event that I'm going to, and I am eating the entire day. And this is like a special event where it's unlimited food and a bunch of food trucks and a bunch of stadium food. You'll all see it. And I don't know how many calories I'm going to be eating on that day, but I need to figure it out, because I just had a 20% day yesterday and I'm going to have another one on Wednesday. So the pacing for that has yet to be seen. I haven't thought that part out yet, but you'll see it in a future live stream. So with that being said, just to give you more nerdy stats here, right? After 13 rounds of ADF and one prolonged fast, you've noticed that the weight continues to push itself down, push itself down, push itself down. I started at 169.6 pounds. Yesterday, I hit 145 pounds, down almost 25 pounds in 4 weeks, right? And of course, the weight now pushed itself up because I ate 4,700 calories yesterday. We'll get into that in a second. So to talk about my refeed stats, and actually that should say last 14 refeeds, and Isa, this is what I was thinking about as well, to maybe just do a 65. Actually, I'll get into that in a second. But my average nerd refeed stats right now, my refeed time is around 4 hours. My calories per refeed are at around 3,300. That obviously shot up a bit because of yesterday's 4,700 calorie day. My average protein per refeed, almost 200. So getting the protein in, my refeed time isn't that long. I would love to get the calories down, but it's only about 300 calories up from what I want to be at as I'm doing ADF, because I'm still putting myself at a pretty good deficit. And then you'll see here, my last 6 refeeds. The stuff that's highlighted in yellow are my 20% days. 7,500 calorie day, 3,600 calorie day, 3,200 calorie day, 2,900, 2,900, and then yesterday around 4,800. Now, those 20% days, obviously, there's a lot more calories in there. And having 2 of them over the last 12 days, right, could potentially be quite a lot. Well, 17%. But that still applies to my 80-20 rule. But if you really think about it, I've only had 2 20% days in the last 30 days, which is about 7%. So these 20% days are very far and few between. All the other days, I'm either fasting or I'm keeping my calories under 3,000 and keeping my protein high at over 190 grams or close to 200 grams every refeed. Why? Because protein is satiating, because protein has a thermic effect, meaning that your body has to burn more calories when you eat protein versus any other macros. Protein helps build muscle, right? Protein has always been a priority in what I've been doing for a while. My refeed weights, just so you get an idea of what my weight looks like after a refeed. Yeah, I gain 5, 6, 7 pounds per refeed. Yesterday, after I ate 4,700 calories or 4,800 calories, I put on 6.6 pounds. I pushed myself back up to 151.6. And if you look at the weights the day after like a 24 plus hour fast or so, you'll see I lose around 5, 6, 7 pounds, right? So even though I gain 5, 6, 7 pounds on a refeed, I still end up losing 5, 6, 7 pounds after just doing a 24 plus hour fast. A reminder that it isn't just fat that you're gaining. Don't worry so much about what the scale says. Worry more, right, about your habits and making sure that you have good habits in place, because the refeeds, the weight on the scale is going to say what it wants to say. You cannot control what the scale is going to say, but you can control practicing good, healthy habits. And that is what you should continue to prioritize. Am I worried about this? When I stepped on the scale this morning and I saw 151.6 and I'm up 6.6 pounds? No, obviously not. Because I know I ate a good amount of calories. I mean, I ate that gigantic thing of carrot cake, which was 620 calories. I ate a bunch of pizza, which isn't the healthiest choice, or mozzarella sticks, or breaded mushrooms, right? But it doesn't stop this train. It doesn't stop my routine. It doesn't stop me practicing good, healthy habits. Yesterday was a 20% day. Today is an 80% day, a day where I'm fasting completely. Tomorrow, I will most likely fast again. That's my guess. Usually I would eat tomorrow and continue ADF, but I want to offset the extra calories that I ate on this past refeed. So it's really interesting because Issa said, maybe just do a 65 and then another till Wednesday. And that's exactly what I had in my head. The only problem with a 65 right now, and here's the thing, Issa, and to anyone who's watching, I probably will do a 65. The only reason I was hesitant on doing a 65 is because that means I'm going to refeed on Sunday. And on Sunday is my Sunday night live stream, which means then I will eat super late at night. And I've noticed when I eat super late right now, it's not the best because I wake up at around 5:30, 5:45 in the morning. So what I might end up doing then is this coming Sunday, I might just do another earlier live stream. It's not what I want to do. I love being able to do it at around 7:30 p.m. Central, just because that's like my typical hour of doing it. But maybe I'll do it at like 6 p.m. or something, like push it up an hour and a half, or at least push it up an hour so that I'm not eating Sunday night at 10 or 11 p.m. Now, here's the thing. When I do that 65, because most likely that's my plan. When I eat this Sunday, I'm not going to be eating over 3,000 calories. I go back right into my plan to keep the calories under 3,000, to keep the protein to at least 190 grams. And then when I eat Sunday, like Issa said, Issa's thinking where my head was at, I would then push another 65. I would push a longer fast, which will definitely get my weight down, but then that will give me the caloric deficit to then eat what I want on Wednesday so that I can enjoy my 20% day. And then I could probably just roll back into ADF depending on how many calories I eat on Wednesday. Wednesday could be bad because when food trucks are there, and there are going to be a number of food trucks and a number of stadium food, and it's completely unlimited, we'll see what that looks like. But it doesn't change what I'm doing. The fasting is still there. Making good choices when I eat is still there. Being aware of my caloric intake is still there. Making sure I prioritize protein is still there. Making sure I get my steps in are still there. Making sure I lift weights is still a priority. My sleep a priority. Taking care of myself a priority. Nothing changes. The same should go for you. Think about what the rest of your week looks like. It's the weekend right now. Are all of you just going to be at home eating the cleanest, doing nothing this weekend? I'm sure there are some of you who have plans, who probably have plans after you watch this live stream. Anyone going drinking tonight? Anyone going out to dinner tonight? Anyone hanging out with friends tonight? If you are, what I would suggest is don't throw away the entire weekend. If you're going out tonight or tomorrow, enjoy. Be with your friends. Be with your loved ones. Enjoy the time that you have. But does that mean Saturday has to be crazy? Does that mean Sunday has to go insane and you eat everything then too and tell yourself, I'm just going to wait till Monday? Or maybe you have something happening this weekend and then the other days are a lot more in control. It doesn't mean you have to fast the entire day either. If you want to eat, if you have events in the evening, maybe it just means you're just going to be doing an OMAD and enjoying it when you eat. Just because I ate yesterday and yesterday was my 20% day, did that mean I also ate breakfast and went out to eat for breakfast and ate out for lunch and ate in between breakfast and lunch and ate between lunch and dinner? No. I still fasted until I met with my friends. I hung out. I had a good time. And then I went home and I ate the foods that I still wanted to eat because I know that pizza and mozzarella sticks and breaded mushrooms, they're not filling for me. They're not nutrient dense enough for me to enjoy. And that's why you saw me eat vegetables and add fruits and still add a slice of cake. It's giving myself a middle ground, which is just crazy because I really never thought I would find this place. You know how I have been. I have been the all or nothing guy for so long. I know many of you who are here right now practice that all or nothing mentality. My hope is that you can break yourself out of that. Not every day has to go hard, because if every day goes hard and you have a day where it doesn't, then you're going the complete opposite way instead of finding a middle ground. Tanisha says, I'm a nerdy homebody. I mean, I am too. I mean, if yesterday when I was out with my 3 friends, we were after dinner, we were just, because it was so nice last night in Chicago. Tanisha, you know, right? You're from Chicago. It was really nice. It was really nice last night, a little cooler in weather. And we were talking and we were like, when was the last time we hung out? And my friend was like, 3 months ago. I'm like, no, it wasn't. We hang out more often than that. And he was like, no, it was 3 months ago. So yes, I am quite of a homebody as well. So I get that. Issa says here, I like your flexible approach, prioritizing social events. I've skipped a lot of social occasions because of food, right? So I'm trying to implement this too. And so that is a tactic that I've learned over time. Because if you've watched my journey at the very beginning, I know many of you have, I skipped Thanksgiving. I didn't eat on Thanksgiving. I didn't eat on Christmas. I didn't eat at many social events because I was so all or nothing about doing 90-hour fasts and doing nothing else, right? And now, A lot of the times my friends are like, Jerome, when are you eating? Or when's a good day for you? They help work around my schedule as well. So I've also just told myself, if you're going to go out and eat, do it with friends, do it with family, do it when you are hanging out with them, because then you're looking at it more than just food only, right? That's the change when it comes to a lot of this. Remember, you can go hard if you want. You want to fast for a long time, as long as you can healthily do so, right? Do it. You want to eat super clean. You have a specific way of eating and you want to eat super clean for an extended period of time, do it, right? But the moment that you can't, the moment that it becomes difficult, the moment that you tell yourself, I can't do this, and then you're thinking about now just ordering out food, or you're thinking about giving up on your plans of working out, that's the issue. When you go from all to nothing, that's the issue. You can go all, don't go nothing. Find the middle ground, whatever that middle ground looks like. And like I said, it's more than just fasting. I perform cardio, I lift weights, I try to sleep well. That's still something I have to really be better about. But when it comes to performing cardio, my daily step average is over 16,000 steps over the last 30 days. Yesterday's step count was over 20,000 steps, which was crazy, but I just had so much to do. I had to drop stuff off at the post office. I had to meet people that I was selling stuff to, because I've been selling a bunch of my stuff online on eBay. I've been moving things to my small storage unit. I have a lot going on, and I got a ton of steps in. Does it mean that you need to walk these many steps? No, right? You don't have to walk as many steps as I do. I do it because I enjoy it. I do it because it's therapeutic for me. I do it because I live in the city and I walk a lot already. I love to people watch. I love taking public transit, which I'm sure many people don't like, I guess. But for me, I'm fascinated by trains and the way public transit works. It's one of the reasons I loved going to Japan, because their public transit system is amazing. New York's is ridiculous too when compared to Chicago's. Chicago's is decent, but New York's is so much better than Chicago's. Japan's, though, and no one can touch Japan's public transit. Their public transit is amazing, completely amazing. Anyway, I'm going off of a tangent here. Where am I at? Oh, yeah. And the last bit, right, of these nerd stats. I have 80-20 days, right? I live by an 80-20 protocol. My 80% days are the days where I am a little more strict, where I am making sure my fasts are on point, where I am limiting my calories, where I am being more mindful about the choices that I make when I eat. In the last 30 days, and actually that shouldn't say 28 of 29, that should say 28 of 30. But in the last 30 days, 28 of those days have been 80% days where I am tracking, where I am more mindful. In the last 28 days on my refeed days, my refeeds average around 2,900 calories, around 200 grams of protein. And then look at my 20% days. I've only had 2 of them in the last 30 days. 2 of them in the last 30 days. That only accounts to 7% of my quote unquote 80-20 rule. So in this regard, right now in the last 30 days, it's not 80-20, it's 93-7. 93% of the time I'm doing the shit I'm supposed to be doing. The other 7% of the time, I'm enjoying my life. I'm going out with friends. I'm only going out with friends 7% of the time. But, right, during those days, I'm just, enjoying myself. It's okay. Those are my imperfect days. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you'll see there, on those last 2 of 30 days, I'm averaging around 6,000 calories, 170 grams of protein. Is eating 6,000 calories a lot? Absolutely. But look at how often that happened. Twice in the last 30 days. If you try to practice this 80-20 protocol, right? If you think about a 30-day month, that's 4 days out of the month. That really puts into perspective how important that 80% should be. Now, it doesn't mean that on those 26 of 30 days that you are going hard every single day. But what it means is you are practicing imperfect consistency. You are doing a lot of really good, healthy habits. You are being very mindful about what you're doing when it comes to food choices. Maybe in those 26 of 30 days, the one thing that you can do is you won't order out to eat, right? Maybe on those 26 of 30 days, you might not be walking 10,000 steps, but you're still getting steps in no matter what. Even if it means getting your shoes on, walking out the door, and just walking around the block. Because that is what the beginning of an 80% day looks like for you. That can get better over time. How? By building better habits, by building good, healthy habits. You got to find that middle ground. Imperfect consistency. I'm telling you, that is how you'll find success. I'm literally showing all of you right now how a combination of fasting and mindful eating and exercise and lifting weights at the gym and having an occasional day when I eat carrot cake or red velvet cake like you saw on my last 20% day, or eating Filipino spaghetti, grape jelly meatballs that my family made, which was delicious. You can have those days. They just shouldn't be back to back to back. They shouldn't be overweighing your good, healthier days. I know that makes sense. That's really what it comes down to. You got to get your head out of the 80. You got to get your head out of the all or nothing mindset. I saw the writers here say that's way better than 80-20. It is. It's 93-7 in this regard. Michael, missed the beginning. What was the 20% calories yesterday? Hey, Michael, it was 4,750. When the replay comes, all you got to do is watch the refeed. So it wasn't 7,500 or 7,200 calories, right? Was that my last? No, it was 7,500 calories, my last one. It was much less. So 4,800, just about. So nice to see you here, Michael. Okay. I think that's all I have. Yep, that is. So we'll go ahead and do fit check. I am 6 point whatever pounds up. How many pounds am I up right now? 6.6. I'm 6.5 pounds up, everyone. I'm very bloated right now. I don't really want to stand back here because I'm quite bloated, but it's okay. It's okay. I am wearing a bigger shirt today because of the extra bloat I have, but it is what it is. I always show these photos, but I like to show them to let you all know that I have been an overweight child, adolescent, teenager, adult in my 20s, in my 30s, and in my 40s. At my heaviest, I used to weigh 235 pounds. I used to wear a size 38 waist. I used to wear either XL or double XL shirts, which maybe might not sound big, but when you're 5'3" tall, that's big on you. That's really big on you. And now I wear, like, this shirt is an adult small, but most of my shirts now are youth extra large. The pants that I wear or the shorts that I wear size 28 pants, which are even a little too big on me, or I end up or I end up wearing boys' pants. So fit check. Again, remember, I'm bloated. Front shot. Again, this is a size small adult shirt. These pants are size 10 to 12 boys. We got a side shot here, rear, right, side. That's pretty much it. Yes, I'm not wearing a compressed shirt today. You'll see the fat here as I grab on it. It's a mix of fat and probably loose skin. Today was a really good lifting day. I had a good amount of calories yesterday. This morning was really good at the gym, was able to push really heavy, felt really good. And maybe I'll lift again tomorrow if I do a 65 because I won't be breaking until Sunday. We'll see. We'll see. So one of the reasons I lift is because I know that getting more muscle on me, right, helps my metabolic rate. The more muscle I have, the more calories I burn at rest, meaning that it also gives me the opportunity to eat more calories. And who doesn't want to eat more calories if you're not going to lose weight? Or if you, who doesn't want to eat more calories while not being able to gain fat, right? But I really love the protocol of eating every other day and fasting every other day, right? Because it gives me the opportunity to lift heavy. It gives me a good amount of energy. And one of the reasons I like to lift too, I always talk about my loose skin. I mean, it's really apparent, right? When it comes to like my skin here on my neck, right? It doesn't bounce back. But, you know, I have loose skin here on my upper arms, right? It's one of the reasons I like to lift because I hope that it like continues to like build muscle and will maybe fill out the skin better in that regard. But we'll see what it looks like as I continue this downtrend, right? My plan is to try to get the rest of this excess body fat off. Probably another 10 pounds of body fat to get off of me. And then when I get to like my ideal weight and I get to my ideal aesthetic, or I'm happy with that aesthetic, then I can figure out what the next plan is. Because I know I probably can't keep doing ADF. I'll probably have to start eating more frequently to maintain the weight. But we'll see what that looks like. I'm not there yet. But that's what these journeys are about, right? These journeys are about figuring out what works, figuring out what feels good, doing a lot of trial and error, learning from your mistakes instead of just walking away. If you have been here before and you are that person that is trying to do a super long fast and when it doesn't go according to plan, you walk away, you're not learning. There's no learning experience from that. You're not going to grow because what you're doing now is an all or nothing mindset. You are pushing as hard as you can. And when it doesn't work out, you walk away from it instead of finding a middle ground, right? Finding that middle ground is the key. Finding that middle ground and being happy with still doing something that's important is the key. That is how you will find what works for you. That is what will also help you build good, healthy habits. These healthy habits that you start building for yourself, if you can keep showing up every day and working on these habits, whether how good or bad the habits are working for you on that particular day, the more you start to rewire your brain and tell your brain, this is a routine. This is something that I just do. This is something that is good for me. This is healthy for me. These are important things that you need to learn versus just, I'm going to fast for 14 days and then I'm going to eat the cleanest on my refeed and then I'm going to fast for 14 days again. Not that there's anything wrong with that, right? But you need to find what a middle ground looks like. My hope is to find that for all of you as well. My hope is that I get to show you what this looks like. Do you see me as I eat carrot cake and pizza and mozzarella sticks and breaded mushrooms, or on my last refeed when I ate 7,000 calories? Do you see me beating myself up over it? No. Right? I'm not sitting here pouting about it. I'm not here beating myself up over it. I'm not saying, oh my God, a Diet Coke. I'm just picking on that one comment. Right? It's not a big fucking deal. These moments happen. If I want to have a beer, if I want to have whiskey, which is one of my favorite things to drink, right? I can have that opportunity. It's just not every day. I can't do that all the time. And you all know that. This is all common sense. But I think sometimes many of us have lost the way of like, hey, it's okay to have a bad day every now and then, or to have a day where you enjoy the things that you eat and you drink. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with missing a workout every now and then, or not getting as many steps in as you thought, or you weren't able to lift as hard as you wanted to at the gym. Those days are going to happen. You don't have to throw away the day. Okay. At this point, I will do any Q&A. If you have questions, please feel free to ask. I will be happy to answer what I can. In the meantime, while you're asking questions, if you have any, if you are looking for help when it comes to fasting or weight loss or accountability, or if you're looking for accountability, if you're looking for an accountability partner, an accountability coach, you can go to finallyfasting.com. You can book a one-on-one session with me. We can have a conversation, put a plan together, put a strategy together, hold you accountable. I know many of you, you already know what you need to do, but many of you maybe have a harder time when it comes to accountability. That's why I even tell people, right, you don't have to work with me. You don't have to sign up for a coaching session with me. You can show your accountability here in the live stream. You can tell all of us how you're doing, whether good or bad. You don't need to book a session with me. Look at how many people ask questions. I field questions all day. You want to ask a question, right? I'm just saying, if you need an extra push, if you think it might be beneficial in that way, please feel free to reach out. My goal is to be able to help people find what works for them. Finallyfasting.com. You can also buy merch there. You can get stickers like this sticker that I have here. I also have hats, but I'm not wearing mine right now. I have a different hat on, obviously. Okay. Oh, and then I was going to say, if you do want to support me, which would be great, there is a link in my description to be part of the Finally Fasting fam. If you go to the description of the live stream, you will see a link there where you can be part of the Finally Fasting fam. It's a membership on YouTube. You can get your name at the beginning of these live streams, and you get custom emoji. And if you join the higher tier, you can join us on our Wednesday night live streams where we have an accountability live stream and other people get on camera, and it's like a group coaching session. So if that's something you might be interested in, please feel free to take a look. Okay. So let me see if there are any questions. Faith says, yes, please. I posted a question. Okay, let me see. Oh, Faith asks, why am I lagging? I'm lagging right now. Have you always lifted weights on fast days? I have. But the thing is, lately, I have been backing off of that. So when I first started doing 90-hour fasts, if you watch my journey back in November of 2023, when I was at my heaviest. So Faith, are you new? I can't remember if we've talked before. But if you go back to my live stream on November 5th, 2023, that was when I was at my heaviest. And I literally documented my process of losing this weight. And I've documented the process of gaining some of it back and losing it and gaining it, but always showing up, right? When I was doing 90-hour fasts, fasting for 4 days, sometimes fasting for 6 or 7 days, I was still lifting weights. I was still going to the gym and lifting weights, but I wasn't lifting super heavy. Obviously, after fasting for 2 days or 3 days or 4 days, the strength that I had was not the same, but I did go to the gym to tell my body, yes, you're fasting, you're burning body fat, but do not lose this muscle. And so what I would do is I would do exercises I would put tension on my muscles, right? I would put tension on my muscles, even if it wasn't super heavy, to remind my body, hey, we're not getting rid of this. You still need to use these muscles to continue your journey, right? Like, don't use it for energy. Use the excess fat that you have. It might take a while to transition for many other people, but I do feel I'm at this place where fasting has been such a big part of my, I guess, daily lifestyle that my body is just used to it, right? Because people also ask me, but can you work a physical job? I literally, when I first started, if you watch me in November, I had a full-time job. I was working a full-time job. I was doing part-time contract work while I was making YouTube videos. So I had a very physical, demanding job at the time. I know it's not for everyone, and I know it might not work for everyone in that way. I'm just sharing with you all my experience when it comes to that. Thanks for the question, Faith. R. Jones says, do you track your heart rate, and do you notice if it's lower when you're fasting? So I do track my heart rate just when I do wear this, but I don't really track it that, like, I'm not like, whatchamacallit, I'm not staring at it. I'm not at this place where I'm just like, this is the only thing that matters. Now, when I'm fasting, is my heart rate lower? I don't really know. My resting heart rate is somewhere around like 48 to 52. I think that's where it is. But I don't really know if it's lower when I'm fasting in that regard. So maybe it's something I'll look at, but it's not something that I really paid much attention to, well, ever, really. So thanks for the question, R. Jones. The writers asks, do you have friends that try to sabotage you? Maybe before, but today not so much. Today, a lot of my friends know what I do. They know that fasting is a big part of my health and wellness. And a lot of my friends at this point will just ask me, are you eating today? Or they'll be like, hey, is there, like, I have this event going on or whatever. Like, I'd love for you to come. But if there's food or drink and I'm fasted on that day and it's not on my day to eat, then some days I'll just fast through it. The writers also says, I don't think my friends mean well and just want me to eat. I think they're low-key haters. What has your experience been? I mean, you're not the first person to say something like this. There are other people that I've coached. There are other people who talk about this as well. I mean, whether they're haters or not, right? They don't control you. They don't get to decide whether you eat or drink on that day. Peer pressure is a motherfucker, right? It really is. And I would be lying to you if I said I didn't succumb to friends or family goading me to eat, right? Because I've done that. I've been that person where I'm like, oh, fuck it. Let's do it. Let's eat. Let's go. Let's go to this buffet, right? I've been there many times. This is where your discipline starts to really kick in, right? This is where you have been practicing good, healthy habits on a daily basis. And if you know, and especially if fasting is a very strong, powerful tool of yours, you know when it's time to eat or when it isn't. And if you do decide to break, maybe it's a real discussion of, okay, I'll eat, but I'm going to eat healthier. Or I'll eat, but I'll make sure I don't go over my limit. I'm sure other people in the comments can share their experience with that, but it's definitely a very common thing that other people do. And I don't know if it's because they don't mean well. I don't know if it's because they're trying to sabotage you in that way, but I mean, it's possible. It is possible. I guess I just try not to think so negatively because it puts me in a bad headspace and I don't want to be like that. Cedric asks, I was going to say Cedar because I think somebody was trying to answer. Lori was. Cedric says, what is ADF? Yeah, alternate day fasting, meaning that I fast every other day. I have 0 calories every other day. Like today is a fasting day. I have 0 calories and then the next day I eat. Although I'm most likely not eating tomorrow. I'll probably be eating on Sunday. I'm doing a 65-hour fast. Why? Because I overate yesterday. I ate higher than I typically do, and I'm trying to continue to lose more fat, so I'm putting myself on a longer fast. Thanks for the question, Cedric. And thank you everyone for answering as well. It's nice for many of you to help along here. And that's why I love this community. That's why I don't tolerate bullshit on this community either. When people want to troll in here or think they're fucking smart, I shut it down real quick. Like, I don't have time for that bullshit. When I tell people like I don't have time for when I don't have time for negativity, I mean it, right? Why would I let some random person who fucking doesn't know my life bring me down, right? I don't feed into that bullshit. I don't tolerate that bullshit at all. Like, I have 0 room for that. And I love having this community here to feel like they're safe and they can talk about things and they can be open and they can share what they need to share. Like that is the community I look for. That is the community that I try to build here. So I appreciate you all helping others out. Cedric also asks, do you fast on vacation, weeks off from work and on your birthdays? So I have in the past, Cedric, but lately, no. I said this earlier on my live stream, when it comes to vacations or special events, those are special events. Those are memorable moments for me, right? Those are times where I want to be enjoying myself. But the one thing I remind myself as well is it isn't just about food. So you might be thinking about going on vacation, but that vacation shouldn't just be food focused. It should be like, I'm here with my family. I'm here with my loved ones. I'm here to enjoy XYZ. It can still be about food, but if that is the only main focus, right, that's where things start to go awry. So I do, for the most part, I do eat on those days, but even for tomorrow, I guess this is a perfect example. Tomorrow I have this event that I'm going to, and this is an event of a good friend of mine, and there's going to be food there and people are going to be drinking, but tomorrow's not an eating day for me. So I will not be eating tomorrow on that day. I'll probably have a Diet Coke or a Coke Zero, right? And it's a little help for me to get through my fasting day, but I know that I want to break on Sunday. I have goals. I'm trying to get the last fat off of me, which is probably around 12-ish pounds or so. So I have goals that I want to meet. And I guess the only thing I can tell you here is your goals, depending on how hard you want to push, right? You can push and you can fast on those special days. But I guess the other question is there that much of a hurry? Is it worth it to not enjoy yourself on those days? it's a very hard question to answer. It's a very hard thing to put into practice, because if you are somebody that goes insane on those days where you're just eating everything in sight, right? Like, there's another issue there. But that's something that can get better over time through practice. Again, I think the only way that you, and not just you, Cedric, but anyone in here, the only way that you will get better at this is by doing. When people ask me, Jerome, should I do this? Jerome, should I? Jerome, should I? Jerome, should I? My answer to you is try it. See if it's something that's sustainable. See if it's consistent. If it's causing you to do all or nothing, if it's causing you to be like, ah, fuck this, I don't want to do this. Now I'm just going to give everything up. What's the point in hitting a timer? I'm not going to hit a timer. I'm not going to go work out. I'm going to just order whatever. Who cares how much it costs? Because you know what? I'm just going to start tomorrow. If you're in that mindset, that's where that needs to change. That, I feel like, is the real first step before you can even dig into the other nuances of figuring out, how can I tweak this? How can I optimize that? So, okay. I think those are my questions, or questions that were asked. We're way over. And, oh shit, do I have a coaching session? I do have a coaching session, but I think it's later. I would feel so bad if I had a coaching session, everyone, and I didn't. No, I'm good. I'm good. But it's still time to go. We will do this again tomorrow. My plan is to probably fast all day tomorrow too and push a 65. I think that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to be here tomorrow for transparency. I'm going to be here tomorrow for accountability. I want you to understand that if it's helpful for you, show up and be here. One Golden Breeze has a question. And you know what? One Golden Breeze, I need to email you back as well. I did see your email. I did mean to reach back to you. One Golden Breeze asks, can it get better over time if you need to gain weight and just want to purge when you eat? So there are a lot of people that I have talked to and coached who have similar things here too. One Golden Breeze, this is a very, 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 very sensitive subject, and a very difficult one to just, right? Like, I think you and I both know there isn't just one straight answer that fixes this. But this is why I wanted you to reach out to me, because I would love to even just take 15 minutes and maybe have a discussion and really like get a little more insight on everything that's going on with you. But I think if anything, like I'm not a doctor, I'm not a therapist, but like I've been someone who's dealt with some real shit, just like many of us here. And I know things can get better, and I know that they can by just working on the small steps first and figuring out like how we move on from there. But let me email you back and let's have a discussion, right? Let's have a conversation and see if I can help you in that way. So I appreciate you being here, One Golden Breeze, because I know your situation is different than others, but I just want you to know you're not the first person that has reached out to me with very similar things as well. So hey, Mark, nice to see you. I just see you chiming in there on the chat. And thank you all for the kind words. It really means a lot to me. Okay, so it is time to close things off. I appreciate everyone being here today. Thank you again for the support. Thank you for being in chat and being kind and supportive to others. Thank you to my Finally Fasting fam, to people who are members here. You guys support me in an additional way that's really helpful to what I do. So I appreciate you so much. That's why I try to have those special Wednesday live streams or get your names up on the intro. I do appreciate the support in that way. But like I said, it doesn't mean that I'm not here to not help other people out. That's why I'm like, ask questions. If I can help you out, I will. I will offer my time to people, because I know, right, social media is a bunch of bullshit for a lot of what's out there, but like I genuinely want to help people. I mean, that is why. And you can ask almost anyone that I've coached. I will take extra time. We will talk. People email me. I offer that because I genuinely want to help, because I also know that it helps me as well. So for everyone that's in here, keep practicing imperfect consistency. Keep working on your good, healthy habits. This is how you figure things out. You build a routine. You change the way you think, right? You rewire your brain. You break bad habits. You leave those negative thoughts elsewhere. You control what you can, and the shit that you can't control, what the fuck can you do about it? Right? Yeah, I get it. Sometimes it's hard. And sometimes it feels like you're lost and there's nothing that you can do, but there are things that you can still control in your life. So I just want to leave you all with that, because these are things that I tell myself as well. All right, everyone, we'll do this tomorrow. We'll talk soon. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow on Saturday. If not, and you're going out for the weekend, enjoy the weekend. Have fun. I'll see you all soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.